Tonight, right now at 5 on WHAS11 News, they were among the first to race toward the immense fireball of the UPS jet. Feel the heat and see the sky raining oil. The appreciation today for the Okolona Fire Department. A Kentucky-grown crop on the chopping block in the newly passed government funding bill. The way a hemp ban could impact CBD products and the people whose businesses rely on it right here in Kentucky. And another new development in the case of Ron Exantis, a man found not guilty by reason of insanity of murdering a 6-year-old boy randomly here in Kentucky.
Thank you for saving the lives. You are a hero.
The support continuing to pour in for the men and women of the Okolona Fire Department here in Louisville. At Fire Station 76 today, firefighters and their families reading dozens of special cards from Kennedy Elementary schoolers sharing their appreciation. And hello, everybody. Good to be with you on this Friday night. I'm Doug Proffitt. Connie is off tonight. The Okolona Fire Department was among the first to respond to the scene of the massive UPS jet crash. Our Isaiah Kim Martinez today is talking to 2 of the firefighters who were at the crash site that night, as they were also honored today. And Isaiah, how are they doing now 10 days later?
Well, Doug, they described to me, this is Marcus Hudson and Michael Marshall, 2 firefighters, that this is almost surreal to think about those moments just 10 days ago on November 4th, rushing to put out the massive blaze that so many of us saw. They raced to the disaster zone that night, described as an apocalyptic scene that was raining oil. Hudson tells us his biggest concern at the time were those storage tanks filled with oil.
The tankers that was on fire, potential for levee, potential for more explosions to happen. That's the biggest thing. Bunch of fire, smoke everywhere. That's when, just for a second, you kind of just tear down the veil and go, okay, this is going to be a lot.
Federal investigators are expected to issue a preliminary report within about 30 days from the night of the crash. That times out to around early December at the latest. Now, I asked Congressman Morgan McGarvey if before Thanksgiving is a possible time frame there. He told me, quote, "I hope so." Doug.
All right, looking for the facts and what happened. Thank you, Isaiah. And I hope you'll join watch our special news report from WHAS 11 News on the UPS crash. It's tonight at 8 on WHAS 11 Plus. That is our app, where we bring you the latest on the investigation, what to expect over the next 30 days. Join me along with Connie Leonard and our longtime aviation expert, Reed Yaden, breaking down the crash and what happened at 8 on WHAS 11 Plus. Moving on now to the government shutdown. The focus is the congressional battle over health care and the cost of insurance. CNN's Kara Kefa is in Washington with a look at Capitol Hill's new battlefront and their deadline.
Days after the end of the longest government shutdown in U.S. history, Democrats still not giving up on their key demand.
The Affordable Care Act tax credits are scheduled to lapse on December 31st. And so we have about 45 days to get this done.
In exchange for some Democratic votes to reopen the government, Senate Republicans agreed to hold a separate vote on extending existing federal subsidies for some Affordable Care Act insurance plans beyond the end of the year. But there's no guarantee that vote will succeed or that House Republican leadership will act on it.
I'm not going to guarantee a vote on ACA unreformed COVID-era subsidies that is just a boondoggle to insurance companies and robs the taxpayer. We got a lot of work to do on that.
Without congressional action, some households face a spike in their premiums after December 31st.
The increase in the health premiums would be half of my income.
House GOP leadership is said to be eyeing a package that's unlikely to extend the subsidies but use other ways to reduce costs. Some House Republicans don't think that will come together in time, and at least a dozen are calling for an extension for now.
We're not going to make major fixes before December 31st. I think we owe it to the middle class and around the middle class to extend these tax credits, maybe with some reforms.
More than 24 million Americans rely on the Affordable Care Act marketplaces for health insurance. In Washington, I'm Karen Kefa.
Louisville native Congressman Morgan McGarvey was holding out hope that the Republicans would walk back Medicaid and health care cuts. Today, McGarvey telling us in Louisville he is seeing a record number of Kentuckians drop health insurance because it's too expensive.
People shouldn't have to choose between having a roof over the head and being able to go to the doctor. So we are making sure that we are working as hard as we can to lower the cost of people's health care, because every single Kentuckian, every single American deserves to have health insurance they can afford.
He told WHAS11 he doesn't believe the Senate should have caved in their vote. He believes in Kentucky, where about 17% of the population is on Medicaid, cuts passed in this budget bill would prevent people from getting care.
The ban will deny Kentuckians and our communities safe, regulated access to products that reduce stress and improve lives.
New here at 5, Kentucky's hemp industry is rallying together as they face a hemp ban next year. That means most CBD products used for health and wellness will be taken off the market. The ban was written into a spending bill passed by Congress to reopen the government after the 43-day shutdown. WHAS11's Alexandra Goldberg has the call to action from business leaders and patients who use hemp as medicine.
It's a race against the clock for the hemp industry. Kentucky farmers and small business owners say they have just about a year to convince Washington to turn around a ban on hemp, CBD, and THC products that became written into law when the government reopened.
Within 1 year, Senator McConnell's hemp ban will wipe out the cannabinoid market entirely.
From the Kentucky farmers who harvest hemp.
And I watched the other day, boys come out of the building to go to work, come out of the house to go to work the other morning, and I'm sitting there thinking, you know, they got 2 months left.
To the Louisville business owners who sell CBD products for health and wellness.
The little 7-year-old who has brain cancer will no longer be able to get her full spectrum CBD products because it's the only way she is able to keep food down.
Kentucky's hemp industry joined in lockstep in protest of a ban that established a 0.4 milligram THC per content limit. That will effectively wipe these products, like gummies and oils, off the shelves nationwide.
This measure that was stuck into a massive bill to reopen government could not pass on its own merits.
The ban was a so-called Rider Amendment, backed by Senator Mitch McConnell, on the massive spending bill to reopen the government. Kentucky Representative Al Gentry says in an ironic twist, McConnell championed the law to legalize hemp years ago in the 2018 Farm Bill. McConnell said in a statement, quote, "I am proud to have championed this language that keeps these products out of the hands of children, secures the future of regulated hemp businesses, and keeps our promise to American farmers and law enforcement by clarifying the intention in the 2018 Farm Bill."
There is more people that this benefits than it hurts, and all we need is simple regulation.
Now, the hemp industry has until next November to get a new regulatory bill passed in our nation's capital. In Louisville, Alexandra Goldberg, WHAS 11, on your side.
Well, before the spending bill passed in Washington, Kentucky Senator Rand Paul drafted an amendment to remove the language impacting the hemp industry. He didn't get the support required from the U.S. Senate. You felt it out there today, wondering, well, put away the heavy jackets, maybe even pull out the shorts by tomorrow. It felt pretty warm today. I was surprised by that because it was just what, still in just the 70s today, Mallory?
Yeah, we were in the 70s. We were expecting upper 60s, maybe 70 degrees today. Definitely overperformed when you have those southwest winds. Not much in the way of cloud cover this afternoon. And yeah, most of us made it up into the 70s this afternoon. Hopefully you got out and enjoyed it, but we have another day similar on tap tomorrow if you weren't able to. Right now, we're still sitting in the upper 60s and lower 70s as we wait for that sun to set here in the next half hour. Winds were a bit gusty as that warmer air moved in from the southwest, and we're still dealing with some gusts out there between about 10 to 15 miles per hour. Comparison to this time yesterday, we are running anywhere between 5 to 15 degrees warmer, and I'm sure you felt that difference as these temperatures are running about 15 degrees above average for this time of year, if not even warmer than that. Max HG radar, we had a couple of sprinkles in southern Indiana this morning, otherwise a mix of sun and clouds. And now we're looking at partly cloudy conditions to take us into this evening and tonight. Clouds will gradually increase tonight and temperatures will not be dropping all too much. So we're going from the lower 70s to the 60s, maybe some upper 50s by early tomorrow morning. And tomorrow afternoon is trending pretty much just as warm. We do have a front that will move through Saturday night and then a much more active weather pattern on the way next week. I'll be breaking down all those details coming up in our 7-day forecast. Doug.
Mallory, thank you. More of our top stories just into the newsroom in the last hour. A 25-year-old man arrested and charged in 2 sexual assault cases here in Louisville. One happening behind the Manslick Cemetery, according to police. LMPD says they used their SWAT air and fugitive unit to arrest Huber Aguilar. He's now charged with rape and assault, unlawful imprisonment, and more. Police say the investigation is still active and could lead to more charges. If you believe you may have been a victim of the person on your screen, LMPD is asking you to contact them at their anonymous tip line, 574-LMPD. In a new development in a case we've been following, Ron Exantis has now admitted to violating his early release. Exantis was found not guilty by reason of insanity of murdering 6-year-old Logan Tipton in Versailles, Kentucky. However, Exantis confessed to the killing in court. He was sentenced to 20 years for assaulting Logan's family with a knife. He was released early in Kentucky and moved to Florida under supervised release, but was arrested again in October for failing to register as a felon. Kentucky's parole board, which has been voting to keep him in prison, will revisit the remainder of his sentence on November 20th. And it was an emotional scene today at the Gilda's Club in Kentuckiana, where pediatric cancer groups gathered to accept part of the new $2 million in state support grants.
Whether pediatric cancer is part of your life or not, you should have a good, fun life with your family. So paying for those experiences, giving them the support programs, the counseling, the groups, the education to own their cancer journey, to be their own best advocates. So together we're going to wrap around them.
Gilda's Club receiving more than $300,000 to expand its financial assistance program and to strengthen its support and counseling services. The nonprofit provides more than 190 free programs for each month for families living with cancer. A new addition coming to Louisville Skyline, sort of. The KFC Yum Center is getting a brand new roof, and folks, it's going to be a big one. You're looking at a new rendering showing you what the arena's 250,000 square foot roof will look like after they update the appearance on the riverfront view. The roof replacement is one of the most significant facility improvements since the Yum opened. It's part of the more than $13 million worth of investments into infrastructure upgrades this year. No phones, no problems. We're following up with the Kentucky School District banning phones in the classroom. We're going to check in with Meade County right after this.
And here's a check of today's Kentucky Lottery jackpots. Mega Millions close to $1 billion. Powerball, $546 million.
The Kentucky Lottery, funding education for over 1 million Kentucky students.